In the opening scene, we see a woman driving a car. After some time, she is hit by a truck and thrown off the road. Apparently, she doesn't survive the crash. John Q is a factory worker in Chicago. John and his wife Denise are behind on their house payments, and they have only $1,000 in savings. As a result, Denise's car is taken away by a lender. They discuss the matter while getting breakfast, and then John gives his wife and son a lift to the school. While driving, they play different games, and everyone seems so happy. There is a basketball match going on in the school, and Michael participates in the game. At once, he collapses while running. John and Denise rush him to the hospital, and they learn that he needs a heart transplant that costs $250,000. Further, the doctors tell Michael is running out of time. The hospital requires a $75,000 down payment just to place Michael's name on the transplant list. John asks for help from health insurance, but they reject his request, saying he is out of coverage. He sells everything he has, including a refrigerator, a TV, and several other household items, together with his wedding ring. Still, the amount doesn't add up. He asks to reduce the cost from the hospital, but they refuse. Days pass one by one, and it's been a week now. He can't think of any other way to find the required amount of money. John gets a call from Denise, saying the hospital has given up on Michael, and now is going to send him home. Desperate to save his son, John takes the cardiologist, Dr. Turner, and several patients with staff, hostage in the emergency unit. Among the patients, there is a pregnant lady, and a mother with his 6-month child. John tells the doctors to treat these patients free of charge. An ambulance arrives with a man, who has been shot, and needs emergency care right now. John allows them to bring the man in. In the next scene, the police arrive, and surround the hospital. Police negotiator Grimes talks with John using a walkie-talkie, and John demands to put Michael's name on the transplant list. We see that Grimes is a fair man, and he understands John's situation. After that, Chief Monroe arrives at the scene. He seems to be a show-off, and makes fun out of Grimes by insulting him. Most of the hostages sympathize with John, and reflect on the flaws of America's healthcare system. One of the nurses reveals that Michael's condition could have been detected much earlier during a routine checkup, but the doctors ignored it to gain a bonus from the insurance company. John calls Grimes and gives him 1 hour to put the name on the list. In return, Grimes asks to release 2 hostages, so that they can be sure that everyone is safe inside. John is attacked by hostage Mitch. His abused girlfriend, Julie, helps John subdue and handcuff him. John frees the expectant couple together with the immigrant mother and her infant son. They go out of the hospital and declare their support for John to the news crew outside. We see Grimes in pain revealing John's actions to Denise, and she is shocked to hear all of this. Overriding Grimes, Monroe sends a SWAT sniper through an air vent into the hospital. They make a phone call to John from Denise, who is unaware of the sniper. News crew hacks the police surveillance feed and broadcasts John's conversation with his family. John discovers the hacked news footage just as the sniper fires, wounding him in the shoulder. He overpowers the sniper and uses him as a human shield as he restates his demands in front of the cheering crowd. As night falls, Michael is removed from the ICU and brought to the emergency unit in exchange for the sniper's release. Doctors inform John that Michael is bad, and it's possible for a heart failure at any time. John reveals his intention to die by suicide, to save Michael with his own heart. Everyone is surprised, and asks John to rethink about the decision. John then reveals that his gun was empty all along, and he had no intention of killing someone. He persuades Turner to perform the surgery, and 2 other people as witnesses to John's final will. He cries as he says goodbye to Michael, and prepares to end his own life using the only bullet he brought. All of a sudden, news arrives that the heart of a recently deceased organ donor, who is the lady from the beginning of the film, is on the way. John triggers the gun, but doesn't get shot because of a safety lock in the gun. As he tries to shoot himself for the second time, he gets a call from Denise, who informs him about the news. The heart arrives at the hospital, and John releases all the hostages. A patient named Lester surrenders to the police, acting as John, buying him time to be there during Michael's surgery. John, posing as a surgeon, accompanies Michael to the operating room, where Grimes, who noticed the switch, allows him to watch Michael's operation before arresting him. The operation becomes successful, and everyone is relieved. 3 months later, John's actions have sparked national debate about healthcare, and in court, his family, friends, and all the hostages testify on his behalf at trial. John is sentenced to jail for no more than 2 years. As John is escorted from the courts, Lester proclaims him a hero. Healthy Michael gains eye contact with his father, saying, "Dad, thank you." That's the end, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.